So are you going to tell me that an AI agent can replace a VC, basically?
Those are social media AI agents, and we are now at the phase where the vast majority of these interactions with agents are still happening in social media.
What do you mean that it's worth more than $1 billion? Welcome to Spotlight, where we highlight key trends and founder milestones with portfolio founders and tech executives. I'm Tom Reniv, Web3 and crypto investor at Entrée Capital, and with us today, Matan, founder and CEO of Lightblocks Labs and a co-contributor to the eOracle protocol. Hi Matan, thank you for being with us today.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
So today we're going to speak about AI agents. AI is definitely the biggest trend of 2024, and we also saw it penetrating to the Web3 industry. We believe that AI agents are a key contributor to the Web3 industry, and maybe we can start by some glossary. So tell us, what is an AI agent, and how is it related to crypto at all?
I think many of us asking this question because we are used to see bots. This is part of almost every platform we know, and also exist in many automations that you have inside organizations or inside any social media platform. And
even Google itself, when you search something, you use an AI agent, right?
Right. You can think about it like that. I think the major differentiation that we are seeing, truly, in my experience in just recent months, is that agents are moving away from just being bots to be this autonomous entity that have some kind of an agency. And specifically when you're thinking about Web3, these agents have their own identity and also the ability to control funds and the ability to learn from their interactions with the real world, evolved because of that, and start doing things that used to be done only by humans. So some of the most known agents that currently exist in the crypto space are managing funds that are being contributed by multiple investors, and this agent now trading on these funds, on doing some kind of other investments.
And then they need to allocate funds for startups. What's the analogy for so are you going to tell me that an AI agent can replace a VC, basically?
Well, I think that everyone hold this perception of, am I going to be replaced, no matter what is your role?
Yeah, not only the designers and the content writers that didn't know that VC is also going to be replaced by an AI.
It's a question of how thoughtful and actually useful these agents are today.
Walk us through the structure of this AI agent investor. So how can it collect funds, and how can it actually, engage in investments?
So in crypto, there is this structure that exists for quite a long time now. I think for well over 5 years. That's called the DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. So the agent is replacing the organization that used to be governed by humans, receive funds from a much larger group of people, very similar to a VC, right? Basically, the LPs are being here in this essence replaced by this autonomous organization that's supposed to act in a predictable way, following a certain rules and conditions, which is mainly further progressing a certain protocol. So some of the most known DAOs are Uniswap DAO, Compound DAO, Aave DAO, which are some of the most known protocols in crypto that managing their funds for the constant evolution and progress of this protocol. Now, if we replace this with an agent, this agent now is controlling some funds, and supposed to do different actions. And I think that now we can dive into some of the known agents like Eliza, that right now is worth over $1 billion. Or something along these lines, and
so I think it's a good point to maybe to elaborate on another term. What do you mean that? So Eliza sounds like a name of someone. I guess that this is the agent. What do you mean that it's worth more than $1 billion?
So the token of this agent, and in this specific case, Eliza also have a framework that allow the creation of similar agents that work in a very similar way. In essence, it's a lot of connections between a variety of tools that this agent can call to. Some of them are extracting data from Twitter, analyzing this data, and acting and talking based on this data, or getting to some kind of a conclusion based on this data in real time, and constantly publishing its thinking. And its thinking is actually evolving in a very interesting way. This thing capturing attention. I think that this entire conversation and the point we are today, attention is the real currency. It's not completely money yet.
So those are social media AI agents.
Those are social media AI agents, and we are now at the phase where the vast majority of these interactions with agents are still happening in social media. You can think that many of the agents that are acting based on news seen an explosion in the conversation that's happening around specific token, around specific ticker, and taking actions based on that. This is a very bot behavior, right? Like you have a lot of bots in the network, and you can think about funds, liquid funds that using this type of tools to also take decisions in real time. The differentiation here is that here the agent can do it in an autonomous way without a human in the loop, while what we used to, the bots were just a tool and not a complete decision-making protocol of its own.
So we always had bots that we need to code and to tell them what to do. But now, when you say autonomous, you mean that the agent, whether it's in social media or in trading, they can do things on their own. They can do things that you don't agree with, that maybe the owner doesn't agree with, change strategy, decide to invest in gold instead of Bitcoin, or I don't know what.
I think you touch a very interesting part of it,
which users on X.
Which is what the owner planned of this agent to do and what is happening after that. There is a premise right now where this agent's supposed to be autonomous. There is a real question of how autonomous they actually are. One of the most known agents right now called AI XBT that have a very thoughtful takes and ideas.
It's a social media agent.
It's a social media agent that provide real-time analysis on things that are happening and have very unique takes that you would think that someone that is extremely smart,
like a Goldman Sachs analyst.
I don't know any Goldman Sachs analysts that have such incredible takes on things in real time. So to me it's a bit surprising that a model can have so much context to provide short and thoughtful insights about things. Now there is a question: is there a human in the loop? Are there groups of humans that's sitting behind this agent and maybe reviewing 50 different takes and choosing the best one?
So maybe let's take some steps backward and discuss about the infrastructure that agents work at, and they mean wallets, right? One of the most basic things, I guess, in crypto. When you said transfer funds, right, to an AI agent that is now managing a VC, for example, when you say transfer funds, you basically mean into a wallet, right? So the agent needs to have a wallet, and this is another interesting question: who controls the funds and who controls the wallet? So I assume, and there's also another project that I know, Griffin, for example. So they also have like a framework for building agents, and there you need to actually create an autonomous wallet for the agents and deposit funds into it. And it's not your wallet. You need to trust the agent to be fully autonomous and manage its own funds. So I assume that who controls the keys of the wallet is also another aspect of how autonomous something, an agent can be.
Anatoly, the founder of Solana, was tweeting just last week that agents are in essence just oracles because of this specific dynamics of bringing off-chain data on-chain or taking actions based on off-chain data. I do see a future where agents will also have their own off-chain funds in some kind of PayPal accounts, or maybe even banks in the future will approve agents according to their credit score. But I think we are far from that, and the blockchain space is by far the best place for experimentation like that, for agents to have their own identity and their own agency over funds, and for you to have full transparency into how these agents actually use these funds.
And maybe you can tell us your thoughts about the upcoming year, 2025, what the future is holding in terms of AI agents. What do you think will be maybe the most interesting projects that you're paying attention to, pun intended, right? You're paying attention. And also, what do you think that, will shock us? What will be the aha moment for AI agents?
Replacing UIs. I think that this is something that is happening right now, that agents are replacing UIs, and you are able to interact with a lot of data, even if it's you coming into a new website and trying to understand what this company is doing, what can I do with that. All of these things are becoming much more, not just chat-based, but you are able to simplify some of the ways that we have used to do stuff online. In addition to that, I think personality. I think that some of the, we have mentioned virtuals in a brief way before. Virtual started by saying NPCs that exist today in some games and in movies will have personality, and we're going to see them across many different domains. So I think that some of the known agents that capture a lot of attention and have their token value go up and have a large group of fans will show up in more and more. They won't just exist on Twitter. We're going to start seeing them in movies, in TV shows. We're going to start seeing them having their personality evolve, and
also maybe opening a business, having a family.
Having a family? Well, that's something that I'm not going to bet on.
That's 2030, not 2025.
That's 2030. Yeah. I don't know. On one side, all of that feels very creepy and not real. On the other hand, I feel like if someone will tell me what is happening today, just 2 years ago, I would say, yeah, no, that's a decade down the line. So
yeah, everything is always exponential and very hard to.
I'm betting on the pace. I'm betting on the pace of innovation to continue to rise, and I think there is no better industry than crypto to see the newest of newest things, because capital chasing this newest opportunity, but volatility is really an enshrined part of crypto. And that's
we have to say that everything that we said is not a financial advice.
It's not a financial advice, and you have to accept the fact that these things value based on what people think they are valued at. It's not based on the revenue. It's not based on the real world added value to the world. It's strictly based on the attention they are able to generate.
Yep, as we said, so attention is the new form of currency.
Yes.
A global currency. Great, thank you very much for being with us today with Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.